what in the world is going on in Minnesota. We all see it. We knew they were doing fraud. I want people to go to jail for this.
59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps, meaning that most of the people getting food stamps from the U.S. government and the U.S. taxpayer are not even Americans.
They look like black people, but they got straight hair. It's crazy to me. Look at the one in the back. He just, I have no idea what's going on. Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notification anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel and make sure you message me at Brandon@freedomchat.com, Brandon@freedomchat.com. Join the app, follow me at freedomchat.com. Holla at your boy. Let's get into this. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. I almost said something that almost got me canceled. Let's get to the nitty gritty. What in the F is going on in Minnesota with these Somalians? Like, let me just say this because I'm a person of color, they say. And I'm not the one to jump on a bandwagon and say, America is not white no more, so all the brown people are destroying America. No, it's these dummies. It's these evil people. They didn't got these people in our country and they giving them taxpayer dollars, doing fraud and all kind of stuff. Listen, put it up on the screen. Black people do the same thing. And all these other people do the same thing. And the problem is, in my personal opinion, is not necessarily just the color. It's the fact that y'all done brought these people into our country that do not share our values. I don't think it has nothing to do with color and culture. And it's probably some Somalians that are really good people that love the American dream that's doing the right thing, that came over here legally and all of the above. And then you got your remnant like this, doing fraud. $250 million fraud. 250 mil. Can't even speak English. 250 mil. Roll the clip.
$250 million fraud scheme. Already 77 people, many of them Somali immigrants, have been charged in one of the largest taxpayer-funded scams in U.S. history. Minnesota, home to the largest Somali community in America, has become the center of this massive investigation. This is the Feeding Our Future scandal, a pandemic-era scheme in which defendants allegedly stole over $250 million meant to provide meals for low-income children. Instead of feeding kids, prosecutors say the money went toward luxury homes, high-end cars, jewelry, overseas transfers, and an entire network of shell companies. According to the DOJ, the conspirators submitted fake invoices, fabricated meal counts, and even staged photos to make it look like they were serving millions of meals that never existed. In some cases, they claimed to feed more children than lived in entire neighborhoods. A federal jury found Amy Bach, the founder of Feeding Our Future, and Salim Ahmed Saeed guilty of conspiracy, bribery, wire fraud, money laundering. Federal officials say more arrests may still be coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Angel Tree campaign is back every year. And you guys know, if you follow me, we do this every year. We help thousands of kids get a Christmas present for Christmas. Children whose parents are incarcerated, they have a chance to get a Bible and a special gift, and it means the world to them. And I want you to know about Yvette real quick, because I got to tell you these stories. They are absolutely tremendous. Some of you guys have been a part of this. And Yvette, her dad was incarcerated. Her mom was hooked on drugs. She was a drug addict. And she bounced around from home to home. As you know, when you're in the system with her brother, she struggled to adjust to different homes that they went to. She was in school. She got into gang activity. She was in the gang doing all of the stuff that normal kids do when they don't have parental guidance. But then she found Christ. And then she started going to church. And when she see the families in church, she started desiring that stability that you can get in church. And she was shocked at how much love and grace that adults at the church would show her. And one day she got a Raggedy Ann doll from her father, who was incarcerated, from Angel Tree. And it just changed everything. She can't go without having that doll with her. And it made her feel like she was remembered and loved by her dad, who was incarcerated. And now, being with the church and the love that they showed her, she's now a leader at the church. She now inspired young people to follow their passion, to follow their dreams, and to believe in Christ. And I want you guys to help me this year. We got to blow it out of the water. I ain't gonna lie, Mike Gallagher do more than I do every year. We got to beat him this year, all right? We're going to help so many kids. It's going to be so much of a blessing. Go to angeltree.org/Tatum. That's angeltree.org/Tatum, or you can get the link in the description section. Let's get it. They had to use that white girl, get them loans and stuff. But look, let me say this. Somebody knew that this was a fraudulent situation a long time ago. Everybody can see it. Everybody in Minneapolis are probably looking at themselves and saying, well, we knew they were doing fraud anyway. We see them driving these kind of cars. We see them living in these kind of buildings, and we know they can't even speak English. They don't even have a job. We know something is going on. They probably complain to the government 100 times in Minneapolis or in Minnesota. Complain to the governor 100 times. These people doing fraud. But these woke, I'm not going to call them retarded, but these woke people are sitting here acting like they're virtue signaling because they don't want to make people look bad. They're virtue signaling. It's crazy to me. I was supposed to talk about the Ukrainian deal. We'll get to that in a second. I got to talk about this. I think this is even crazier than the Ukraine peace deal. They already killed enough people over there. We done gave them $400+ billion. We'll talk about that in a second. So let's go to the other clip 101, because there's more evidence to this craziness. Roll it.
Officers from our Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America. Focusing on a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies. Over the course of the operation, our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed. We found troubling patterns with the Uniting for Ukraine program that should have raised serious concerns under other administrations, such as an individual filing to sponsor more than 100 aliens, and organizations sponsoring hundreds. We are continuing to investigate these cases. Some of the other troubling cases that our officers found. In one case, officers identified an alien who had overstayed his visa waiver, who was the son of a known or suspected terrorist on the no-fly list. He had previously been found to have engaged in marriage fraud, which resulted in the denial of several immigration benefit requests. He was arrested and is now presently being returned to his country of origin. In another, an individual admitted to obtaining a fake death certificate in Kenya for just $100 to prove he was no longer married. In reality, his wife is alive, living here in Minneapolis, and is the mother of 5 of his children. And incidentally, he has another wife living in Sweden with whom he has an additional 3 children. In another case, an alien entered the United States without inspection in 2023, was released by Border Patrol. The alien married a U.S. citizen while in removal proceedings and was interviewed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul USCIS field office just last week, where both he and his American spouse, stated under oath that their marriage was legitimate. The USCIS officers conducting the interview were suspicious. The site visits were authorized the same day. The American spouse ultimately that afternoon admitted the marriage was fraudulent and entered into solely for immigration purposes and withdrew her petition for that alien. This type of same-day action for interview, from interview to site visit has...
Think about this for a minute. Are you shocked? Are you shocked? I'm not shocked. This is what they do. And I'm not saying just Somalians. This is what immigrants do that don't assimilate. This is what happens when you make our system lack or laxed. This is what they do. Now, this is another instance of tax fraud and SNAP manipulation. And Somalians are 42% of this. They 42% of this. Roll the clip.
42 million people in this country that need food stamps on a weekly basis. And we're saying people deliberately instead of Americans, because most of the people that are on food stamps aren't even from this country. 45% of Afghanistan immigrants are on food stamps. 42% of Somali immigrants, 34% of every immigrant from Iraq, 23% of Haitians, 59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps, meaning that most of the people getting food stamps from the U.S. government and the U.S. taxpayer are not even Americans. Think about that. And we didn't know about any of this before the government shutdown started, but thanks to Democrats, we can confirm tonight that millions of Joe Biden illegal aliens, people who crossed the border when Joe was president, are now collecting food stamps from a program funded by hardworking American taxpayers.
And then people say, you crazy, Brandon, for saying this. You crazy for saying it. Y'all crazy. Y'all just hate immigrants. This is xenophobia. They doing fraud, bruh. And I put this on my life, that the 59% of all illegal aliens who are receiving SNAP benefits outspends the entire budget that we give to foreign aid. I put that on my life, that they're getting more money from your taxpayer dollars here in America through fraud than we give to Israel, that y'all seem to cry about every day, that we give to Jordan, that we give to Egypt, that we give to all these other countries, all across the Middle East, all across the world. You put all those numbers together, the biggest problem is this fraud with illegal aliens. That's the biggest problem. I'm gonna do one more clip and then we're gonna move on. Let's do 106, roll it.
Mr. Adal, can we ask you some questions?
Assad Adal did not want to talk outside St. Paul federal court.
How many vulnerable people did you leave sitting in a snowbank so you could line your own pockets?
But once inside, he admitted on the record that his company, Leo Human Services, ripped off taxpayers to the tune of $2.7 million while falsely claiming to help 250 people find housing.
How would you describe that $14,000 that was billed to your Medicaid?
Fraud on every level.
I never met with them. I've never even seen them.
Carol Evan first began investigating the BMW driving business owner earlier this year.
We have so much work to do. I mean, I'm being asked questions here.
Well, people say you're not doing work, that you're billing thousands of dollars for work that's not being done.
Come on, man. Let's take the proper channels, man. I'm doing everything I am correctly.
But that was not true. CARE's investigation exposed a family fraud factory operating out of this Blaine home. Assad's brother, Anwar Adal, was running another HSS company called Liberty Plus, also stealing from taxpayers and preying on vulnerable Minnesotans desperate to find a home.
And you're sitting there in the cold thinking, okay, any day now. And that any day never comes.
When agents raided the Adal brothers' home, they seized stacks of cash, tens of thousands of dollars hidden under a mattress and in a suitcase beneath the stairs.
How did you and your brother get involved in this HSS scheme?
As part of his plea deal, Assad admitted he used the millions he fraudulently billed to lease that BMW and buy property in Kenya.
How much money did you move overseas?
Both he and his brother have now pled guilty to wire fraud and face 4 to 5 years in prison when sentenced at a later date.
These federal fraud prosecutions are just beginning to ramp up. Later this week, we'll reveal the latest findings in our Carol Levin investigation that uncovered how fraud allegations in yet another Minnesota Medicaid program are tied to a man's death.
$250 million in the other one. $2.7 million in just this one family. I don't get at what point are we going to do more than just 4 or 5 years in prison over this stuff. One more clip on this, because this ticked me off more than anything else that I've mentioned, and that is the chief's response. 105, clip 105, please, Lord, help me. This is the same fraudulent dude that is promoting these Somalians and all this. And after they found all of this corruption in the Minneapolis Police Department are coming after them and making arrests duly done on behalf of the constituency, on behalf of the people of Minnesota, the taxpayers. And this is what the chief had to say at a press conference with a whole bunch of Somalians behind him. One of them wrapped in a blanket. This fool, pig in a blanket. Roll the clip.
community hadda caruurteena inaan garab istaagno chiefkana
we live in America. Why is she speaking a foreign language at a press conference that the chief is speaking at? Look at this. This is a foreign country with a white man running it. That's what this is, a foreign country. I bet you $1 million, at least half of them don't speak English properly. Either can't speak it or broken English. They out here patrolling the streets and take a call for service. I don't know English. You're a police officer. Put this idiot on here real quick. Roll it.
عشان oo kamid ah odayaasha community-ga Soomaaliyeed iyo waalidiinta magaaladan degan ilmana ku koriyay.
The Somali community here in Minneapolis has been welcoming and has shown love towards me, and I appreciate it. Over the last 3 years, we have been working together to try and address some of the real serious problems that we have in our community. We have to be honest at times with the problems that we're having in our community, and we need our community to help us fix those problems together.
I want y'all to look at the people in the background. They don't know what he's talking about. The guy right behind him is just like he reading Braille or something. He can't even look at the camera. He just that's like you go to Japan or something, or you go to Mexico and they speaking a language you ain't never heard of. These people are looking at him like they've never heard of English. They have no idea what he's talking. They can't even track what he's saying. Look at the one behind him. Look like a black dude with an S curl. They look like black people, but they got straight hair. It's crazy to me. Look at the one in the back. I have no idea what's going on. Like he's deaf. Roll the clip.
Because it's real and it's serious. At the same time, if people have taken anything that I have said out of context in a way that's caused harm.
The guy with the polo is looking over there. He talking right here. The guy in the background is, I don't know, he's thinking about what he's gonna eat later. The one that's standing next to him, I have no idea what he's saying. Then the other guy don't even know what camera to look at. What in the funnel cake is going on here? Roll it.
I apologize, and I'm sorry for that, because that's not my intention at all.
You apologize for investigating $1 billion plus worth of probably fraud. They already at about 300 million. Lord, y'all pray for me on this live stream. Lord, give me peace.